Okay, today's Monday motivation is about people pleasing. Now, I generally find labels to be problematic, so I'm not here to pass any judgment on if you believe that you might be a people pleaser, but you may have seen I had a recent blog post on this topic because I will also be soon on the Power to the People Pleasers podcast, which is going to be November 8th. So I have had a lot on my mind about people pleasing and really trying to reflect on how that shows up in my own life. And where I've landed is that, there are aspects of being a people pleaser that I would never want to erase, and that is my sense of intuition around the feelings and the energy of others, my ability to have empathy, even though sometimes it exhausts me to feel the feelings of folks around me, to have compassion for things that I cannot control. Where it becomes a problem for me and where it actually can become an exacerbation to chronic pain is when your people pleasing starts to make you feel responsible for things that are outside of your control, where you are having a hard time setting boundaries and protecting your boundaries, where you start to lose your sense of self. I mean, I think um, it was really a wake up call for me in my 30s, really, which is when my life really started to change, which led to the start of Movement Remedies. Um, is when I realized that I didn't actually know what I wanted. I didn't know who I was anymore. I had been so hung up in meeting the expectations of people around me, which were relentless, never enough, always striving, and just like never getting to a finish line. And then you're kind of in the middle of the race and you're like, wait a second, like, is this really about arriving? Is life really about arriving at a place? Or is life about the moments that you string together every day and what they teach you about yourself and others? And I started to realize the power of the latter in my own life. And it's been really difficult. I definitely have moments where I have comparison will set in and I see what other people are doing and I think, like, wow, that person is achieving at a level that I am not, and therefore I should be striving for that. And, I have to check myself. And I think that just comes from a place of, you know, for whatever reason, having been conditioned to want to see those around me happy, which is in itself a good thing. Like I said, I think there's a lot of talk about people pleasing, and so I don't want folks to feel like, oh, I'm a people pleaser, therefore let's put that on the list of things I'm failing at. Like it's like my little, my bingo card of ways to fuck up life. I now have a cross or whatever. No, that's not what this is about. We all have ways in which we have dials of characteristics in our life. If you've ever taken the Gallup Strength Finder, I love the way that they kind of talk about how your characteristics are always strengths. It's just that sometimes they're dialed up too high, and so you kind of get the negative side of that strength. And so the way to deal with it is not to consider it a weakness, but like, can I take that characteristic and dial it back? Can I take this desire to help those around me and really dial in on the folks who deserve my attention, on the interactions that actually fill my cup, kind of pay attention to where your energy feels depleted, but also protecting yourself against folks who may not have the best of intentions and see your desire to please as something that they can take advantage of for their own gains and leading to some negative outcome for you. And I've been in that situation many times. And if you want to talk about that, I encourage you to reach out. I'm open about these things, and if anything I've gone through in my life experience can be used to help others, I am all about it. So that's today's Monday motivation. If you are a people pleaser, there's nothing wrong with you, but I encourage you to figure out where you have already identified the priorities that matter to you and make sure that the decisions and the actions you take line up with your core values and not some arbitrary measuring stick that comes from the outside. So you're killing this week. It's Monday. Let's get to it. Have a good day.